Hey friends, it is Wednesday, and thank you so much for joining me. I'm Cortney Kane, your psychic medium and spiritual advisor, and you're watching the Forbidden Knowledge Network. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, if you can see me, if we are live, do me a favor and give me an emoji and let me know where you're watching from. Okay, guys, tonight we are going to be calling on those guides and angels and connecting, and I will be answering some of your questions. Now, listen, my friends. That doesn't mean that I get to everybody. So I want you to be lovingly patient and we will just pull randomly from everybody here, guys. So thank you so much for being here. I see comments already coming in. Let's see. I see Lauren. Lauren says, what a happy accident. I ended up here in this moment. Thank you for the abundance of wisdom and energy shared through this channel. I recently happened upon it and appreciate your team deeply. How cool is that? Listen, I was texting and messaging with many of the other podcasters today. And let me tell you, it really is a team. It really is a family. Jada says, hi, everyone. I didn't even know this was on today. For some reason, I keep catching Cortney on stuff like this. I am being guided. It has really been helping me. Oh, thank you, Jada. I so appreciate you. On Wednesdays, we go live most Wednesdays. So there are things that come up in life, right? But most Wednesdays, that intention is to be here with you always at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And guys, if you have not liked this already, please like this video. Please hit subscribe. And then later when we jump off, I want you to do me a favor, if you will. I'm going to put it here in, let's see, in the comments below, to do me a favor and run over to my own website. If you want to look into that inner circle, if you want to book your session, please do that. But make sure you go follow my own personal YouTube page called Cosmically Connected with Cortney Kane Sides. And anybody coming in, there's Jeremiah. Jeremiah says, where's Billy? Listen, friends, Wednesday night for the last 3 years, you get me at 7 p.m. So I appreciate all of you new listeners and followers and leaders, actually, which is the way that Billy describes it. I love that. And so I appreciate you being here, my friend. Let's connect. Let's see. Daniel says, hey, from Amelia Island. And I feel the same. Just happened to be here with y'all. Danielle, I have a client, a very good client there from Amelia Island. We've got New York, Texas in the house. I love it. Where else? Allison Scott says, can't wait to see you Friday. Hi, Allison. Yes, you've got a private session, my friend. Allison has been a client for how many years now, Allison? It's been many, probably 6, 7 years, I think. Let's see, Canada, we've got Canada in the house, Tennessee. There's Jennifer Teeters. Jennifer just got a little mini session in our VIP Inner Circle on Tuesday, which was so special. Teeters, love you, my dear. Steve says we made it. Oregon, we've got Oregon. We're going to get to those questions, guys, so get your questions ready. Let's see. Luke says, watching a live stream for a change. Isn't that fun? Okay, we've got South Africa in the house. I love it. Yep, and Lucas says it's already Thursday there, so he's time traveling. That's right, my friend. Fellow Aquarius. Hi, Lily, Aquarius, Detroit, Michigan. I love Detroit. We've got Pennsylvania. Where else? Kentucky. We've got Florida. We've got Long Island, Panama City. I'm going down, Trinidad. Wow, some of these places I can't even pronunciate. Gamel Ray Land. Wow. Got another Ghana. We've got Ghana. My friends, look at how when we show up, the reach is kind of crazy. It's impeccable, right? It's really beautiful. So I want to just encourage all of you that feel like you're stepping into the light, into your message. You might be really shocked at the reach that could happen. I mean, look at this. Ghana, Belgium. We've got Las Vegas. I'll be in Las Vegas next week. There's Sonia Smith from Virginia. I've got a couple friends named Sonia Smith. I love that. We've got Maryland, Houston. Okay, guys, thank you. Keep those coming. I love seeing them. Guys, so tonight, this is what we're going to do. We're going to call on those guides and angels. We're going to connect, and we're going to simply see what comes through, okay? We're going to probably have some discussions in these group kind of fun experiences. Very often you may feel as though you hear a message for yourself while you're listening for somebody else. So if you have a friend who's been in it, if you have a friend that needs some guidance, whether it's, relationship, just soul guidance, intuitive guidance, or business, go send this to them and bring them on, okay? All right, wonderful. All right. So guys, let's call on those guides and angels. And again, I'm one person. So as I read these questions, I want you to just have patience and I will get to as many questions as I can tonight. Okay. So everybody take a good deep breath in, big exhale out. Let's call on those guides and angels. So guides and angels on our right, guides and angels on our left, guides and angels in front, and guides and angels in back to balance and harmonize our session. Leave us in the light and allow nothing but the highest, truest, or the best to manifest upon us. Now, let's see here. Discount Hairstyle says, LOL, I was looking for Billy. I'm going to stay planted right here, visiting here for the first time. Hi, friend. Billy, this is his channel, and we love him. But on Wednesday, 7 p.m., you will catch me every Wednesday. Let's see here. There was a question. I saw it. I want to go back to it. These go by so quickly. Fun Pris says, my name is Leslyn. Am I going to have a new boyfriend soon? Okay, Fun Pris. Let's see here. Take a good deep breath in with me. Big exhale out. Listen, I feel like you want me to say yes right here, right now. It feels like there is time. I feel like I want you to honor that time as you're taking care of you. But I see the number 6. So listen, that could be 6 minutes, 6 days, 6 months. But I want you to keep taking care of yourself along the way. It doesn't feel like 6 minutes, doesn't feel like 6 weeks. It feels like, I could see you progressing into something in about 6 months. Okay. But have patience. I keep hearing have patience. Okay, my friend. I hope that helps. Write that down and let's see how it falls into place. Consuela says she missed us. Hi, Consuela. We see you, my friend. Let's see. All right. Listen, Edward says, what does it mean to really pray in tongues? Now, Edward, I'll tell you about my first experience seeing this happen. I was raised Southern Baptist in Oklahoma, and so my twin sister and I had our apartment. It may have been one of our first apartments when we were just 19 years old, and our door was open, and across the little breezeway. We were upstairs. There was a woman over there and she started speaking in tongues. It's really startled me. It made me, I didn't know what was happening. Her children were crying, but she was in it and she was doing this. And we were, like, what's happening, right? As I've intuitively have grown to know, I do believe that she's connecting to her source, to her highest form of God, of universe. Now, this is the thing. I think that not everybody has to access that connection there. Many people use different avenues of connection to God's source. And when they feel as though they're in that higher, space, they're almost giving over themselves. To me, it reminds me a little bit like channeling. And I'm a person who I receive channeled messages, but I don't want to allow them to come through my body. And so whether that be God, source, universe, where I almost am put to the side and then that moves through. Anybody understands? Yeah. Butterfly says, what if a spirit spoke to you in a different language? I have heard different words before. So when I receive, that's a really great question to piggyback off of that. I've received words that come through that were of another language, but it's not as if it's coming through and I'm speaking them in their way and allowing my own consciousness to move to the side. So when somebody is within that, they're allowing themselves to essentially be taken over is the way that I see that. So I'm curious how you all take this. Okay. Yeah. And listen, guys, let me see here. Okay. So here's a question real quick. Oh, not that one. Let's see. Okay. This is from Inspired 2. It's Inspired 2 says, please help me. What is the dark/evil around me that I feel a lot of times? And what am I supposed to do with it /about it? Now, listen, my friends, we're connecting here this evening, and I want you to understand that we know what truth feels like to us. Okay. So as I'm delivering these messages and these words to you, I want you to, receive them, take what you want and leave what you don't. Because ultimately there's free will, free choice, and you're in charge. I really do believe that. So, and I even feel like that even with my own messages. Okay. Now, when I see and listen to that question, my friend, I want you to understand that your job is to like work on your own healing energy. You're to work on finding that sacred ground for you. You're to work on your own emotional work, not just spiritual work. Okay. As we do that, we will shift into a place where we are better able to protect our energy. Okay. We must also, I'm a firm believer that we must believe that a negative or an evil energy has the right over us in order for that to be there. Now, listen, much of my life, growing up young into my mid to late 20s, I remember, I'm 47 now, so it's been quite a while, but I remember feeling that dark energy and it kind of feels lurky. And so when you ask that question, that's the energy that I feel. What I realized was that when the less we know about spirit, the more we're almost susceptible to anything coming in. So the more that you keep working on you, and if you're still here, friend, let me know that. Speak in all caps so I can see you. If this makes sense to you, the more that you're working on you, I want you to keep working on your energetic boundaries. I want you to do the things that make you feel like you're connecting to good, to the light. Okay. And as you do that, you will get a very firm knowing that nothing, again, I said it earlier, nothing but the highest, truest, or the best can manifest upon us now. You know, many people, sage, listen, I think I have a sage. I'm like, I know I have it on this desk somewhere. I have sage right here. But do I require it to clear? No, because I've got me and I've got my breath. Okay. Those things are free. I know in my life, I have to know, like I know, that nothing has the authority over my connection with source. So I want you to get to that space of awareness, my friend. Thank you so much for your question. All right, let's see. Steve says every time I love these things, but every time my mind goes blank. Listen, I love that. Godspeed, D God's Army. We see you. Inspire says, thank you so much. Sometimes it's scary. Listen, I understand, my friend. I really do. I lived a life really nervous about the gift, and it felt it was always paranormal and very scary until we know more. You know, we're nervous about things until we know more, until we educate ourselves. Let's see. Elena says, can you, and I'm going to pull you up here so that question doesn't get moved. Can you use your free will to change what might be in your destiny or plan for this earth? And do you have to play it out somehow else if you will it away? Let's take a breath in. Exhale that out. Listen, this is how it feels to me. And I believe there is free will and free choice. I think that there can be multiple paths laid before us, my friends. If you agree with me, give me an emoji. And if you don't, I want to hear that too. Give me a heart if you agree, and give me like the number 8 if you don't in the comments. Let's communicate in that way, friends. And so I want you to, and Inspired, we're going to come back to you. Inspired says, I do have the gift. So we're going to come back to you in a minute. So yes, this is how it feels to me. How it feels to me is we have multiple paths before us. Now, all paths will lead to that space that we're supposed to get to. Will we occur some more difficult hurdles or cliffs or things than others if we choose something else? But we ultimately, if we do, it's because we're needing to learn those lessons on that path. So this is the thing, it's a beautiful thing to not have any fear about this, about also taking the step and questioning and then being worried about, did I do it right? Listen, you're not in your centered space of trusting and in faith. And when we're there, we're really blocking any sort of beautiful energy that's coming to us. Look at all those hearts coming through, guys. Sam has a different opinion. I love that, Sam. Thank you for sending your 3. I appreciate your honesty with that, my friend. So let's go back. So the person whose question was asking about that negative energy that they feel around them, she just mentioned again, she said, or he said, that they're also very gifted, so they have the gift. Now, very often, my friends, how many of you, and comment in the comment section for me, give me, what's another emoji? Give me a smiley face, okay, if you agree to this. If you are intuitive, if you're gifted and you've been feeling this your entire life, right? Have you had more paranormal experiences in your life? Have you had homes where you felt like they were, many people would use the word haunted, or, had different activity in it? I'm telling you, it's because some of the places, sure, may carry residual or negative energy, But look at all those smiley faces coming in, by the way. But very often it's because they sense our gift, they sense our light. And so what happens is we're not taught how to protect our energy. And look at the world around us. Many of us are raising our children to be very grounded in their knowing, to be grounded in their space, right? And if we were taught that as intuitive little creatures, and not taught to hide our gifts and abilities away, we would be less susceptible to a lower grade negative energy. And so nowadays you're seeing more children have a better control over it. I'm telling you, it's really interesting. And so it doesn't surprise me that you were gifted, my friend. So thank you for sharing that. It's very much the case. So keep walking in your light and connecting back to that intuitive energy. Yeah. Let's see here. Yes. Hi, Pineapple 888. I see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Rooted in Sentiment says, when you are a pure and compassionate person that deals with a lot of trials, a lot, it's it coming from past life karma. Oh, so that's a really, oh yeah, that was the question. There it is. That's a really great question. So what I feel like you're asking is, if when we're a good person and we keep having maybe a hurdle after a hurdle after a hurdle keep popping up, um, it it can often be a past life karmic cycle. Take a breath in with me, show gratitude for that, witnessing that that's a possibility. Take the breath in, and you allowing yourself to be at peace for what is showing up. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't lose it occasionally. It doesn't mean that we don't freak out when something's appropriate, or even sometimes when it's not. But we're a human being having a human experience. And if we can really cherish this, we will understand, if we're seeing this from our soul level, that even these things that are painful really have a purpose if we use it constructively. And so, guys, you're in charge, which is really hard. Many of us, sometimes, many people can go into the victim mode of, man, I'm good, I do all the right things, and all of this stuff keeps happening, or these relationships keep going all the same way. I'm telling you, take a breath in, big exhale. If you start choosing you, if you start to also then take responsibility of everything that's popping up in your life, if when those hardships start to pop up, ask yourself, what is this showing me? Or when, say, that person at work, you walk in and she's at every day in the office, take the breath in and show gratitude that you're seeing the lesson. You're seeing that it's here for a reason. You may not understand it yet, but you will in time. I'm telling you. Start to track those things, guys. Those situations are actually your life development class. You, on the end of this life, will realize, holy moly, I've lived multiple lifetimes in one, and you will be able to heal through many of those different hardships, and things in time, if we're taking responsibility, will gradually become more smooth. Okay. Yes. It's interesting. Listen, I lived a life where there was a lot of death around me as a young girl. And listen, I could have gone into massive pain. And listen, I did. Taking it within, self hurting or things like that in different ways. And when we heal through these things, we choose to see those things that it's putting us on our path. So any of those hard things, I'm telling you, we can find, lead, and heal and teach through it. I'm telling you. Joshua says, ever heard of the Seth material? I haven't, but I'll look it up, my friend. I'll write it down. Or send it to me on Instagram, and I'll make sure to remind myself to go check it out and look at it. Let's see. Iron says, question, are demons real according to Christian/TV portray, or is it just negative energy? It's a really good question. I think if you give it enough energy, it can show up in a really negative way, but it's got to build. I think that, yes, I think that I'm going to take a breath in. Even when I talk about it and I even say those words, I take a breath in. I show like appreciation that I notice that even just talking about it, guys, is heavy. That's energy in itself. And I separate it from my own energy. Okay. I want you to notice when you're talking about that stuff, how heavy you feel, right? Are you with me? If you understand this, give me a heart emoji. So even when we talk about things like that, it can feel heavy, it can feel dense. But I want you to clear your space. I want you to clear your aura, your energy when you do so. Um, I I think that the more we know nothing. And I think that when somebody speaks with, indefinites about many of these things, I think we very well learn later that maybe it was so much bigger than what we even thought. And so I can tell you again, I was in the paranormal for many years and got out of it because you can, if you're infusing in it, if you're in it for a lot, kind of incubated in that energy, you can bring those things home. And once it builds up enough kind of kinetic energy, I do believe that it can kind of form into not so great stuff. So I would say yes. Yeah. Let me know if that helps, my friend. I can't even see when you guys are responding. So I hope that you guys are, if you're commenting back to me, my friends, I can't see it. Do me a favor again, if you haven't liked this video or subscribed to this channel, do that. We are here every Wednesday, and I want to tell you real quick about my VIP Inner Circle. It is amazing. If you are a member, you get half off of my private sessions, which are really fun. I do them in person and virtual, and it is a beautiful place. We meet twice a month for 1.5 hours. So that's 3 hours of time where you get to do this, right? It's so much fun. And we have so many other thought leaders coming in and other full, like really cool group session experiences. So you guys should go check that out at CourtneyKaneSides.com under VIP Inner Circle. It's $11 a month. It's like nothing, right? So worth it. Jada says, how much does the private sessions cost? Hey, go to the website, CourtneyKaneSides.com, and check out the VIP Inner Circle, and they're half off. Half off is $200 for 30 minutes and an hour, or no, $100 for 30 minutes and $200 for an hour. And that's half off prices. Go sign up and you get that. Luck Bailey, let's see. That raises a question for you. Courtney, how do you feel about the Ouija board? No, no. That's my opinion. Listen, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. If you want contact, do you want contact? Do you want it in your house? What are we doing? So no, don't do it. Don't buy it. I've always warned, I've got a 27-year-old and a 9-year-old. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. If you're looking for it, sometimes you're going to find it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, my friend. Looky there. I appreciate you, Jamila. Am I saying your name right? Jamila. Thank you, Jamila Hill. I so appreciate that. We show up here time and time again on the podcast and we love it. And we do it with all of our hearts. So thank you so much for those little perks. I so appreciate it. The one question, let's see. My name is Oliver. I feel like something big is coming. What do you see for me in the next coming months? Okay, the one, take a breath in. Big exhale out. Let's see here. I see lots of papers in order. So it feels like there's been some structure. It feels like we've been preparing. Yes, you feel like something big's coming, but it feels like I want to almost say you're going to be under contract. So I don't know if that means a future contract coming to where you're employed or the thing that you're putting in service is going to be received. That's how it feels to me. Okay. So I hope that helps, but I keep seeing you under contract. This feels like a really great thing for you. It feels like you are seen and it feels like it does feel like it's a really big deal. And it feels like it expands. So this project that you're working for, I see contract, I see papers on top of papers, and then I see it moving forward for you. So I hope that helps, my friend. Let me know if that makes sense to you. Let's see here. Rhonda says, I've grown so much since that experience on the plane. I've never seen anything on this earth compared to what I experienced and what was shown to me. It's changed me. So grateful. Okay, I don't think I saw your earlier comment, but thank you for your connection, my friend, for sure. Let's see. I want you guys to ask a specific question. We're going to be able to get right to the point with it. So let's do that, guys. One specific question. Okay. Let's see. Master in I'm saying your name wrong, my friend, but it says, I believe that I am truly gifted. Can you clarify what that is? What can I do? Okay, my friend, now this is a great question, and some of you may be super annoyed by this. I'm a firm believer that we actually all have the full potential to do it all. I think when we are connected to source, when we are connected and we are grounded in that connection, and we continue to do the emotional, the physical, the spiritual work, when we become into that space, there is no longer, am I clairaudient, clairsentient, am I psychic, do I do remote viewing? It, to me, all of that is kind of malarkey. Honestly, I believe that when we do the work and we really own that beautiful space of light, take a breath in, exhale out, I think we can do it all. I think we as humans try to make it compartmentalized. We try to make it small. Even that word psychic, which clearly is on all of my stuff, I think is ridiculous. I think the word medium is ridiculous. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe not. I was very attached to all those things. Now I don't really care. I think that those things are symptoms of us finding the light within. So my friend, I want you to know, take a breath in with me. When we are connected to source, we have essentially all the gifts, which is also why we must do our own internal work to find what those are. You have them all. I do feel like you get downloads quite easily, so I'll help you there. I do feel like your dreams, you've had moments of premonitions. If that makes sense, say yes, give me an all caps and yes. And I want you to track them. Many of you who have been private clients of mine, I saw Alicia on here earlier, and a couple of others. If you've had private sessions, you know what I say. I want you to write these things down. You need to prove it to yourself so that you never look for outside confirmation. You want to know, like you know, that you have the gift. And look at all the yeses coming in. By the way, is it interesting how when somebody asks another question, if you've got that question on your heart, you're actually feeling that answer within your energy too? Take a breath in. Big exhale out. We're all connected to, this community of consciousness, that greater consciousness. We're connected to it all. So when I rise, you rise. When you rise, I rise. There's no competition in this. I need to wake up and step in the way that only I can. You need to wake up, step in only the way that you can. And that means we have to heal the shit from our own life, my friend. We have to heal our stuff. That's the only way. All right, Tandy, my friend, Tandy says, and thank you for that question. Tandy says, my daughter won't talk to me anymore, and we were so close. Can you please help? Tandy, take a good deep breath in. Big exhale out. When you're hurting, Tandy, I want you to, it's not even just one hand. I want you to just take a breath in and just put two hands over your heart and send her that breath of connection. I love you. I love you. I love you. And send her that prayer. That prayer asking nothing but the highest, truest, or the best to manifest upon her now. Send her that energy. And when you say that, you're asking her to heal whatever needs to be healed. And that really is no business of ours, right? Because it's her free will and free choice. What I do feel is that there was a lot of confusion. I feel like there's blame. If you're here, Tandy, give me an emoji if any, or give me a big yes or a big no, all caps yes, all caps no, if that makes sense to you. And it feels like there might have been a person by her side. I hate to say the word, but it feels like there was a blame of like toxicity. Okay. And so I want you to understand that. Let me see here. If you're here, I don't see you on here, my friend. I do feel like in time she will be coming around. I do feel like it may take I don't want to say this to you, but it feels to me like it's like it may be multiple years, like 2 years. So I want you, this is my prayer for you, my friend. As I pray and as a mother, that hurts my heart. I know everybody else understands if they've had a relationship like that. I want you to understand that when you send her that light, that pure light of connection, not, oh, call me. No, you're asking with ease and with pure connection to the light that nothing but the highest, truest, or the best manifest upon her. and you're asking that of you too, is that you are healing so much during this time and distance that when she comes back again, that you're somebody that can hold space for her, and that you can also allow her to speak and you be very level. And we pray that there's growth on her end. I do feel like there is growth. I want to say 1 year, but I feel like it's more 2. So I'm sending you love, my friend. I hope that helps. Okay. Yeah. There was somebody that just went past real quickly, and they said it's been 2.5 years now since I've seen my second daughter, Tia. I'm sending you all the love with that, my friend. Yeah. Joshua says, what's your view on Kundalini energy and the chakras? So great question, my friend. And so, listen, I think I'm a little defiant with definitions. I get defiant, and I feel like we've tried to humanize connection. Okay. Kundalini, I will say that I did Kundalini for many, many years when I lived in Phoenix at this beautiful ashram that they have since destroyed, but it was really beautiful. I think that it was something that breath work was very interesting. I think that there were connections being made that I probably wasn't fully aware of. I think that we should probably really look into things before we really get involved in them. But I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was fine. I'm seeing a lot of other people really want to warn people from doing Kundalini. And for me, I had a really beautiful experience with it. I think you need to decide what's good for you, and what's good for you may not be good for the next person. What's good for the next person may not work for the other, right? So we just give everybody grace. We all get there in some sort of way, don't we? And just when we show somebody else space and time for them to discover it for them, they, in time will also do the same thing for us. So I enjoyed Kundalini. It helped center, it helped that breath work. I thought it was really cool. Now, the chakras, that's a different thing, my friends. You will speak to some spiritual teachers, gurus, and they won't quit talking about the what do you call it? Chakras. Now, I think that's great, but I think that when you're aligning with that breath, I think you can connect to that. So call it whatever you want. It's connection to me, right? So I want to ask you though, how do you feel about the chakras? What do you think about it? To me, I just feel like somebody was defining it who was a human being. And so I'm like, I want to kind of resist it, but I'm a little defiant like that. So thank you for your question, my friend. Thank you, Illuminated Paths. Listen, I so appreciate your donations. I will say this tonight, just because some donate doesn't mean that I'm picking all of those. So you're not paying for questions, you're donating because we're here. And so I appreciate that. So I want to make sure that everybody knows you don't have to pay to get a question. And if I don't get to you and you've paid something, thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. Okay. Yeah. D God's Army says they agree. Listen, I love that. I think that that's what makes the world go round, right? Is we all have different views. So thank you for that, my friend. Let's see. Illuminated Path says, I saw the black triangle in the astral realm. Were they friendly? Hi, friend. When you say the black triangle, were you talking about the craft, or are you talking about like a triangle, like black hole energy? I want you to clarify. Please put it in all caps so I can see it as it comes across the screen, Illuminated Paths. I want to ask you that, my friend, and I'll come back to you. So make sure you said it was a craft. Illuminated Paths. This is my feeling about it. I actually, and this was in real life with real eyeballs, not astral projection, but I saw the same thing in Phoenix about 13 years ago. And I was not fearful. It felt as though it was like a type of a voyeur type craft. It did not feel alarming. It did not feel threatening. It was like life kind of altering having that experience, which I'm sure it was for you, but it didn't feel frightening to me. It didn't feel like they had negative energy connected. Let me know, say yes, agree, or no, I don't agree, which I love and value both, my friends. So I want to hear. Luke Belly said the Phoenix Lights. That's right. What a great experience, right? If you guys haven't heard of the Phoenix Lights, go check it out. She was a doctor in Phoenix or Scottsdale Mountain, not too far off from where I saw that, which is really interesting. So very cool. Let's see. Somebody's asking for numbers. Me too. That's something I'm not great at, by the way. I wish I was good. I wish I was good at finding things, and I wish I was good at just pulling numbers out, but I'm not. Look, Joshua says, I also saw the triangle spacecraft. Yep, I love that. Yeah, Illuminated Path says it didn't feel threatened, or yeah, they didn't feel threatened. That's how I felt. Same. Yep, that was back in 97, the Phoenix Lights was. That's right. Yep, it happened, but I was reading that book as I was there at that time. What's really cool is many people, and I'm curious if there are any of you here that were, say, from the South or from, the East Coast, and say you moved to the West. If you had that happen, did you have an awakening once you got there? Say yes, awakening in the comments if you did. And by the way, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button for me. Let's do that for me. I appreciate it. It's interesting. I had a full ownership of the gifts, a full ownership of the awakening once I moved to Phoenix. I do believe that had I not, all of those different experiences, if I would have ever really trusted it all, by the way. And so there's something about the West that really, I'm telling you, opens everybody up. Call it the vortexes in Sedona. I don't know. It's just the space. It's that space and time in there. I'm telling you, there's something very cool about that area. Look at those yeses coming in. I love it. I love Candy. Thank you, Candy. Candy says, I don't believe in psychics. Can you see the future or just take educational guesses? So I think it's really healthy to be a skeptic. I'm a skeptic. I very often say that I am a reluctant psychic. So call it discernment, call it a prophet. It's all the same thing. The Bible, and there are so many beautiful places in the Bible that actually honor the gift. There are some that will argue the other, and that's okay too. When I connect to the guides and angels, to source, future things do come through. However, I do believe in free will and free choice. However, what I do in sessions is I can show you that if you say yes to this, this is how it feels to me. If you say yes on this path, this is how it feels to me. So you get to choose how that looks. And very often, I've been doing this work for 20 years. What's really beautiful is to have clients. And I had a client earlier today who her first session was, I don't know, probably 8 years ago. And everything that came through in her session, she said she just wanted to roll with it and see what came through. And everything that came through was not just for her, but for her daughter. And she said she was like, okay, she had other questions she didn't ask. And today she said that she understood it, but how much that makes sense today, everything that, had fallen in place. It takes time. This is one of my favorite things about my particular work. And if you're a client of mine that's watching, do me a favor and share your experience if that's been the case. But very often those things will come through and a client will be like, I'm not sure. When that happens, trust you. Wait, let's write it down. Let's circle it and let's wait to see how it falls into place. And I'm telling you, that is my favorite thing about my work, about our work together, is that those things fall into place in the most beautiful ways. And so you just see and show up and see how it goes. And I'm telling you, it's just really, really interesting. So Candy, I appreciate you being here, my friend. And you know what? Listen, we'll connect maybe. Okay. Let's see. We're taking direct questions tonight, my friend. Let's see. Ju says, I moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, and that was when I really started to have my awakening. That's right. It's very interesting. Let's see. I'm going to just pick these comments. They're flying by so fast. Pure Vita says, I spoke to someone important and two mockingbirds started to tap on his window. This individual is connected to one of the world's most ancient tribes. Is this positive or negative? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Listen, I think and I have a really cool story. I'm going to show you a painting that came through for a client yesterday. All of it's beautiful. Even when it's hard, my friends, it's beautiful. So when I got that, I was like, oh, that's so cool. I think the fact that you're like, oh my gosh, is that negative or positive? I wouldn't even think about that. I want you to take that breath in and just honor what it is. Show gratitude for what's showing up. So that's a beautiful thing. Somewhere there's confirmation for either what you were saying, what were you speaking about in that moment? Does something need to be changed? It's not warning you, it's just saying, hey, you're on path. Okay. So this morning I'm driving, I dropped my little girl off at school. I'm coming around, I'm a little like wanting this car that's in front of me to get out of the way. And I'm like, a little annoyed. I am about to kind of be a little frustrated. I could feel it. And I look up and the car tag said 444. So I was like, all right. I took a breath in, took a moment, took an exhale, and just kind of smiled and was driving and looked over to the car next, said 777. I take your signs as beautiful signs. Take your signs of you knowing that you're connected to source, to God and the universe. And that's why they're showing up. I don't want you to freak out. That, oh my God, what is it trying to tell me? As soon as we go there, that's when we're messing it up. That is when we're messing up, my friend. Thank you for that, though. Let's see. Julie is a client of mine. Thank you, Julie, for being here. Julie said, Courtney telling me to be a skeptic during a reading is what helped me feel comfortable joining her VIP group. She doesn't want anyone to agree if something doesn't ring true. Yeah, because I don't agree with everybody either. And your way is your correct way for you, by the way. Okay. And so you know what truth feels like to you, and you will resonate with some and you will resonate with maybe not with some. And that's also a beautiful way to be. So I think you need to trust you, my friend. Thank you, Julie, for that comment. Yeah. Purvita, listen, in that VIP group, guys, you get the chance to win a 15-minute session. We pull from all of the members once a month. And then like Tuesday, I don't know, I think I read 4 or 5 people that were in the group live. And so we will have pop-on group readings and things like that. It is such a beautiful time. And there's a space for time and healing, which is really cool. So if you're interested in readings, that's a really beautiful place to be. Okay, Brooke says, question, after my awakening and visit from star beings, I met my husband. I had a miscarriage in November. Been trying to conceive ever since. Any feedback on getting pregnant? Take a breath in, Brooke, with me. Big exhale out. As soon as I tune into Brooke, I feel the loss. And so I'm so sorry for the loss and that struggle that you're moving through. I do see you conceiving. I do want to tell you to release the outcome, release the attachment to the outcome, and release the attachment to the timeline. I know and I understand that it can feel like, every month when us women, and not to be graphic, gentlemen, but every month when we get our periods, every month when that happens and when we're trying. Brooke, I'm so sorry. I know how difficult that can be. And so my heart goes out to you. But I do see that is going to be happening for you. I do feel the energy of that child. I do believe that, let's take a breath in, big exhale out. I do believe that I do see a number 2, but I want you to let go to the attachment to the outcome with that. Okay. I want you to feel it, but I want you to take really beautiful care of you. Right now, what I would be doing is doing a lot of womb work, something that helped me. Now I did have a daughter when I was very young, 20, but I was not able to get pregnant again. I was married for quite some time and tried, and it was so heartbreaking and terrible until at the age of 38, then was able to have a child, which was bizarre, right? But the reason I say that is because I just kept healing my womb. Every month that it doesn't pop up and it doesn't pop up, we build resentment, we build hurt. And so the more that you say you're in the bathtub or you're in that water brook, and for anybody else going through this, and even if you've had that experience in the past and you still struggle with that, I encourage you to be really gentle with yourself and your womb. And so holding your womb, I know that might sound bizarre. And for me, the maternal color is pink. So find that maternal color for you and just kind of infuse that color moving into your womb, and just keep breathing in love and beautiful light and healing there. And I believe that that's going to happen for you. So it's a yes for me, Brooke. Okay. I'm sending you so much love. Yeah. It's a really hard one, my friends. That is such a hard one. That's not ever easy. I want to share with you, real quick, guys, a session I had yesterday. Do you see this? It's like a little snake. Okay. Right before this particular client, right before we got into it, I took the paint and I kind of squeezed it out and saw this. Immediately, it was a snake. And I was like, oh, and I almost didn't paint it. I'm going to post the like the original snake without all the other colors around it at first. I'm going to post it on Instagram maybe tonight when we get off. And her next question, the message behind it was, you're moving through a transformation, you're shedding, you're going through an energy of shedding. And she, after we got through that message, which was great, she was happy about it, but her real question was, is he a good guy? And oh, I wanted to say yes. I wanted to say yes. But the energy around it was this sweet, sweet client was really, she knew her worth, she knew her value, and this person wasn't showing up in her life. The reason she booked that session was because she wanted confirmation of what she knew to be true. But listen, my friends, take a breath in with me. Big exhale out. The way I help is I try to make sure that you're learning how to feel your own truth so we don't have to go outside of ourselves to tune into it, right? Because I'm a firm believer that we have it all within, right? I'm getting chills as I say that. So I wanted to make it nice. I wanted to be like, yeah, no, he's perfect. I was like, oh, I got to tell you the truth. And she knew it after, we talked about it. And I'm not saying he's a snake, but let's say there were snaky energy and intentions, and she knew it already, and she was just getting confirmation. So sometimes those sessions aren't telling you anything that you don't already know, by the way. It is confirmation outside of yourself for you to know what's true for you. And my hope and my prayer is when I have a client that's mine for a long time or a long term, it's because you're growing and becoming, that's what's happening here, my friend. All right. Let's see here. Somebody says, good thing you're not afraid of snakes. I love it. Okay. Somebody says, Linnade Travel says, how do I control astro projection and astro traveling? It happens spontaneously and unexpectedly. Also, why was this activated when I never asked for this? I accept it, but just don't understand. So let me tell you something that may feel controversial. It may feel like some people. Ethan says, can I vote for a question? Yes, I think you can even text me for a question. I have my phone right here. So Ethan has different privileges than everybody. Sorry, guys. But Linnade, so how do I control it? So let me tell you what I do. So once I learned what my space and energy was, once I got really good, people call it that bubble of protection. It's not just a bubble, guys. It is your boundary to anything outside of you. As I say it, my voice even gets deeper. Bam, you are the boss of your energetic connection. If you don't necessarily love it or love the feeling, they will honor you, your highest form, and your knowing. And so let me tell you, there was a time as I was owning the gift, there was a time when I was still doing lots of paranormal work. There was time on this and that I was very clear with I don't want to be touched. I don't want to channel within my body and have that experience. I have some boundaries within the way I want to receive information. And so you get to, in time, if you work on knowing you within this space, I do believe we have a choice. I do believe we have a choice. So thank you, my friend, for that. I would work on it. Lady H says, have you been feeling a shift? Yes, my friend, 100%. There's been such a big shift happening. Yep, she was, I see Vicky. I haven't been able to sleep at all since last week. Yes, that is the shift. That's right. Let's see. All right, so let's go to Ethan's question. So Ethan is nominating somebody with Young Hypno says, has a question he has asked several times and it's intrigued several of us. I need to see the question. Let's see. You got, is that it? Yes, here it is, I think. Okay, is this the question? I think it is. Can you confirm to me that the Akashic records are the same realm that you enter when you activate DMT, die, dream, astral project, and hallucinate, psychosis, schizophrenia, drugs? Okay, wait, let me read that again. Can you confirm to me that the Akashic records are the same realm that you enter when you activate DMT, die, dream, astral project, and hallucinate? Now, I would say yes. That is how it feels to me. I believe that once we pass, the guides have given me a few experiences. That's a whole nother podcast, to experience it myself and then to witness it. And then of course to connect and channel for clients who have actually had that experience as well. And I have also had, I've had experiences with ayahuasca and a couple of other, healing ceremony type experiences. I will say, yes, you go through something like a life review, call it whatever you want. Guys, I sometimes get so over the semantics. Sometimes there are no words for these things, okay? And so, Young says, awesome, you are the 57th person who confirmed this to me. I love it. And I love that. That's awesome. So, but I will say this, that's why connecting to the paranormal or your guides and angels, your psychic connectivity, if not balanced, if not centered, can feel and go into psychosis. It can feel and go into schizophrenia. It can feel and go into things that it's not good. That's not good. And so if we don't have our stuff together, if we don't have our life right, I really believe we have no business doing this work. That's just my opinion. And that's why I think we should be very particular, very picky on who we're going to make sure that they are practicing what they're preaching and doing the damn work too. And so it doesn't mean it's easy. It just means that we're responsible and taking accountability for our own energy. When I say that, the people who are truly connected are you're going to be able to see progression. If you're watching them for a time, if you're with them, you're going to be able to see their progression of healing. And you should also be progressing in life too. Listen, if it's always the same, man, we're not doing something right. Got it? We're not. But if we are progressing, we're going through the hard stuff, even if it feels like this. Sometimes you guys see me do that all the time, right? We're tired, we're sick of it, we're ready for something new, right? But I'm telling you, if we're doing this life right and we're the one giving advice, we're the one being the spiritual teacher, whatever, for everybody else, you're going to see that their life is an example, right? And honestly, that's more of the important part than even our words. Let me tell you that. It's the space and energy. Take a breath in with me, and how we walk into the room. It's our space and grace, how when everything falls apart, how we handle it. It's space and grace, how when we lose it, then we come through and take accountability and want to heal those things. It's also, you're going to be able to see those people also create boundaries with the world around them. So if something is not healthy, it's toxic, we might work on that for a little bit, but after a while, we love you, but we cannot, it does feel like life or death to continue in the toxicity or to stay in the growth. And so it's very important, I think, to make sure that we're grounded when we're connecting to things like DMT, dreaming, any of that, that spiritual realm. That's right. Thank you so much, Young, for that question. Good job, Ethan. Let's see. Having somebody here when we're doing this, let's see. He also expressed extremely good patience. Listen, Ethan, he's giving you props, Young. Natasha said, had a good one on your channel as well. Let's see, Natasha, where are you? Natasha, if you're down here, make sure that if you say I'm right here, put your question in, because there's so many comments that I can't just roll back up. He says, thank you, Ethan. So cute. Lady H says, question, does meditating at 1330 LST increase psychic ability by 400%? Friend, I think if you think it does, I think absolutely. Own it. That's right. Patrick, good question here. Says, do people who struggle with bulimia and anorexia have past lives that had little food and involved starvation? Listen, Patrick, take a breath in with me. Big exhale out. I think possibly, I don't believe that it's with everyone. No, I think that I have a dear client who, in this lifetime, if she does not eat at a regular time and moment, she freaks out. And so in her past life, she has had a lifetime where there was a starvation, there was something like that. But she definitely has a healthy attachment to food, as far as other than she's got to eat when she needs to eat, right? Now, in my experience with seeing bulimia and anorexic, and when I say in my experience when seeing clients, and also after the loss of my mother at 15, and I think even while she was sick, I started to not eat. Now, after she passed, I would eat like a piece of toast with mustard a day, and that is it. It was so bad. But what I understood, and thank God that it was like that for about 2 years, 2.5 years, which was scary. But what I realized, I knew I consciously was aware what I was doing. And I knew it was because I was in so much pain and I couldn't allow myself to feel it. That gnawing gut emptiness was that emptiness that I felt without my mother. So I knew where it was coming from. For me, I think that the bulimia, anorexia very often comes from trauma. And so listen, guys, if we don't heal these traumas, and we've all had them in a million ways, right? We could all share a million of them right now. If we don't heal those things, those things persist. And actually, those things are in the way of our light, of our connection. So I appreciate your question, Patrick. And for some, maybe it is. Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking. Wendy says, will my divorce hearing go well on October 18th? I just heard the word finally. So I don't know if you've been waiting, but I heard finally. Okay. So Wendy, that feels like a good thing to me. If it's been a while, say yes in all caps down below and I'll see it. Okay, my friend. Yes. I see Julie and Teeters commenting about something in there. I love that. Let's see. Christina, I'm scrolling up, my friends, trying to get to a few more people, says, super stuck and lost, will be 40 and just gone in circles, nowhere my entire adult life. Truly want to transmute the struggle into strength, stuck into flow. Ooh, take a breath in. Big exhale out. Lost into knowing, anything insight to help. Chris, the first thing that came to mind was get up. And I don't mean it just even physically, but it's like, okay, so if we feel stuck, I want you to literally get up and go do something. Take a breath in and understand that we've got to be setting that alarm clock. We got to get up, because I said it earlier. This is, yes, a spiritual thing, but we're human. I want you to almost take the spiritual realm out of it, and I want you to just get up and start showing up. So if something feels like it's going to feel like a depleted type energy, don't do it. We want you to refuel and start to feel like there's some action. And that means with getting up and conquering the little things. And so I want you to just get up and start doing something. If you, I feel like, Master said the spirit of laziness is real. I don't feel like you're lazy, Chris, at all. I think that you're tired. I think you're exhausted. I think you're ready for something to feel better than the way that it's been. That's how it feels. Okay. The champ says kind of funny because that's how I'm feeling. LOL. I want you to understand that sometimes we also need to put ourselves into service. And so when I say that, how can you give? I want you to kind of walk around right now and ask yourself, how can I give? How can I give? That's where you need to put your focus right now. Okay. All right, my friend. I want to remind you guys that we go into so much more detail in that inner circle. Go find it. I'm going to put the link up here one more time. Let's see. And you can find that VIP inner circle there, or you can book your private sessions. I have group sessions in person, and we'll be planning hopefully a tour. So if you've got, listen, if you've got a beautiful group of people, we may be coming around to your place, to your state. So let me know if you're open to that. That would be so much fun to keep and visiting. I know that we're doing that women's panel. The first stop is going to be in LA next year. And so I can't wait to do that, hoping to be doing a large group session there. So if you're in that area, let me know. Let's say, hey, we'll be there. Vicki says, please come to Houston. I'd love to, Vicki. Let's get some people together and let's make that happen. Jada, get some people in Canada. I'll come. We're going to come to you, okay? All right, my friends. Listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. Listen, the point of it all is to heal. When we heal, do you know what happens? We connect to that light even further, okay? Yes. Pro says, why do I keep getting pulled to your podcast or when you are with others, Cortney? AI, I have no idea, my friend. I'm appreciating you here, but I don't do any of that stuff. I just kind of turn on the live go button. And so we'll see. Thank you. Praise 7. I love you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And listen, do me a favor. If you're on this podcast still, go follow me on Instagram. And it's at Cortney, what is it? Cortney Kane Sides Medium. And again, on my private YouTube page at Cosmically Connected with Cortney Kane Sides. I love you all, and I'll see you in the VIP inner circle. Bye, guys.